with menopause. I am trying my best to hold on to all the density that I can. So the first thing I have to mention in this video is that dry detangling comes with rules. Yes, there are things you're gonna need to do before you attempt to dry detangle your gray menopause hair, or even if you're not in menopause. 2 days ago, I washed my hair, thoroughly washed and deep conditioned. And then when I was finished, I completely moisturized my hair. I like to put my leave-in conditioner in the shower, and then I put a plastic cap over it and let it sort of marinate for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then when I take that cap off, I go in with oil. I go in with the olive oil and I squeeze it all through the hair. But I actually forgot to mention that before I washed my hair, I had detangled it and put it into braids. And then for the first time, I actually washed my hair in braids, and it was really very easy. The only thing you have to know when you do that is you have to spend extra time squeezing the hair to make sure that all the shampoo comes out or all the deep conditioner comes out of your hair. The reason I did that is I finally realized it's so much easier to handle your hair when it's stretched. And now I've let them dry completely. But to make an extra step on the stretching, I braided together several of the braids last night, and so my hair is now completely dry, but it's also moisturized, and so it's going to be easier for me to dry detangle. So did you get that? Before you attempt to dry detangle, your hair has to be hydrated and moisturized and then allowed to dry in a stretched state, and then you can begin to dry detangle. So if you don't have time to do all of those, don't attempt to dry detangle your hair. The method that I'm going to be showing you is from a channel called Coily Diaries, and I'm going to link her video that is extremely detailed about dry detangling. So we're going to be dry detangling and then retwisting my hair. What I'm going to be using is, never mind the label on this, it's olive oil. I'm actually going back to grease. I haven't used grease in so long. I'm going to seal the ends with the Fenty Home Curl Gel. I need a trim so my ends are not in the best shape possible. That's enough of an intro. Let's get started. So because I want you to be able to see how I do this process, I'm gonna start at the front. So the first thing I'm gonna do is unravel the braids that I have put together. Well, I had put these 3 together, but I have 4 on this side, and I have the same 4 on that side. I think I want to put a little olive oil on my hands to start. Although the hair is moisturized, I want to make my life as easiest as possible. So I'm showing you this one in real time because it takes time and patience, but it's not horrendous. Taking your time, going up, and loosening the braid. I hope you can see there and there. And you see that in the roots, you know, they've kind of come together. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one section of the braid. I'm going to put these away, and then I'm going to start with the dry detangling on this one. And I start as, that's why I tell you, please go and watch that video from Coily Diaries, because then you'll understand why I start at the root. It's just a lot easier than trying to take it from the ends up. Dry detangling is a different, absolutely different process than wet detangling. As you can see here, I'm just pulling it apart in the root and just taking my time and coming down, you know, keep encouraging the hair to just glide against one another. With my fingers doing it. That was that one little section. That was in real time. Doesn't take much time at all. So I have this here, and then I go to get the other piece, and I go through the same process. I go to the root, and I just start pulling it apart. I found it to be very helpful if I can hear the hair breaking, because then I know that I'm not being gentle enough or I'm not moving slow enough. I'm pulling out shed hairs instead of breaking my hair. That's the beauty of this process for me. Takes more time than if you wet detangle. My focus is on density because I started to lose some density in the crown, and even though my hair is dense, I don't want to be having hair all around the edges and then balding in the center. You know that thing from midlife crisis? I'm not about that life. And then the last third of it, I just go and do the same thing again. And the twists that I'm going to do are going to be medium size. I did a whole live on why I don't do mini twists and why I don't think anybody over 50 should do mini twists unless somebody's doing their hair for them. That's a different story. Now, see this comb right here with these very smooth edges? I got it on Amazon, and I will never return to the comb with the little line at the end. No, this is it. It does a fantastic job. So like I said, I'm double sealing. So I'm just putting a little bit more oil in my hat. I bought this grease just in my local pharmacy. Yeah. And see, I'll tell you, without a lot of effort. I really like doing my own hair, but I'm no expert. Let me make that very clear, please. I'm just sharing what I have learned and what I've seen work for me. I'm gonna take a bit of grease. I like this prayer hands thing because it generates some amount of heat to try to let the hair, soak it in. And this thing about it not letting your hair breathe, I don't know about that, because I haven't found it difficult to wash out whenever I've done this. My hair is almost behaving as if I had blow dried it, but I put no heat on it during this process. And so this whole section I will separate into 3. Let me take a pause to show you my ends. Can you tell where they need to be clipped? At the very least, right here. It probably should be more than that, but I'm doing that. There we go. I hope you saw that. Because I want it to last a bit long, I'm going to braid the roots. It's so funny being a Jamaican and saying braid. In Jamaica, we say plait the hair. For YouTube purposes, I guess I will say braid. So I only plait like maybe 4 times. And that's to make sure that the shed hair is sort of kept in there. And then when I get to this point, see, I have 1, 2, 3. I take this middle piece and try to split it as evenly in 2 as I can. I sort of twist it around itself and begin the twisting. And that's it. And then I definitely don't borrow hair. But when I get to this point, I want to use a gel to seal the ends. I'll see if the gel is able to do anything over the grease, or if the grease just kind of knocks the gel out. There we go. My first twist is done. I'm gonna go with you through one more, because that's the other thing that can tear your hair or break your hair, is when you go to part it. Gonna show you one more time. I take the root and I plait it just a few times to kind of secure the hair there, and also to help the style last longer. So then when I've done a couple, then I come down now and I take the piece that's in the middle and split it in half as much as I possibly can. And then I sort of do an intentional twisting of the first half of it. I twist each side sort of around each other a little bit. I just twist the rest of the twist down, you know, regularly, trying to keep it probably as tight as possible because I am gonna be wearing the twists in. I just get a little bit of the gel to twirl the end to hopefully keep it in place. But then there you go, end of the second twist. We have 2 down and many more to go. So I'm halfway through. I'm gonna show you the back. There we go. Rule number 2 about trying to dry detangle your hair, finger detangle your hair, especially when you're in menopause, is choose a day that is very relaxed. There is no if and or but around that. I had to stop in between because I had some work on the computer to do, but I also spent some time chatting to my friends today. So it's been just a really chill, relaxing day for me, and I haven't been in any kind of hurry. Oh, let me tell you, there's a rule number 3, especially if you're in menopause. There's a rule number 3. Drink water. On days when I'm like doing my hair, styling my hair, whatever it may be, because it's gonna take a little while, I forget to drink water. Well, we can't allow that when we're in menopause at all. We cannot allow ourselves to become dehydrated. You know those people that tell you they can't hear you when they don't have their glasses on? That's me. So I'm like, where's the hair? Why have I chosen to dry detangle? My reason for dry detangling has a lot to do with that video from Coily Diaries, which I'm going to link in the description. One of the things that she says in the video that really jumped out at me was, your hair is stronger when it's dry. So once you've done that moisturizing and you get to it, your hair can handle a bit more than when it's wet. Am I telling you to dry detangle all the time? No. I just want to expose you to this method, especially if you find that you're having thinning of your hair. It might be because you're using tools. We grew up using tools. Come on. You know, if you're over 50 and you have natural hair, as a child, everybody was using combs in your hair. So at this point, I'm gonna put a little bit more olive oil on my hands and put it on my hair. The reason I'm putting the olive oil before the grease is because it has a penetrative ability. So it can go into our hair strands and it's healthy for the hair. So that's why I'm using the olive oil, and then I'm going to double seal in the olive oil and all the hydration that I had from wash day with the grease. I'm gonna split the shortest part of the braid. Split it in 2. Split it in 2. And then do a tight braid near to where, do a tight twist near to the end of the plait, holding my fingers close to wherever the last loop on it was. Because if I haven't said it, and everyone says it on YouTube, so if you watch hair videos, I know you know this, don't borrow hair. I used to hear that advice and be like, I don't know what they mean. Well, over the years, I've learned what they mean, and it's really good advice. Don't borrow hair. Because when you go to pull out your hair, everything is snagging and pulling and twisting and turning and curling around everything else. And that's where you can break your hair a lot. So there you go. That's what we're doing for this entire process. And just like that, it's all done. So let me give you a full 360. My hair feels light, it feels fluffy, it just feels good. It just feels good. I think I'm gonna continue this combination of the olive oil and the grease on the top. It just, yeah, my hair just feels really good. I know that people like to get an idea of how much hair you lost during it. And so this is my hairball. See, I don't know, it fits in my hand. This is just what I consider to be pretty normal. It's not too much, it's not too little, you know, for going through here that it is as dense as mine. And like I said, most of it is shed hair and not break it. To be honest, this is one of the least stressful retwist days I've had because of the way that I did it. What are the key takeaways? Only start this process on stretched, very moisturized hair. Number one. Number two, only do this process if you're in the mood to do it. If you're not in the mood to do it, you're gonna end up ripping out your hair because you're gonna get impatient. The other thing is, if you are menopausal, and even if you're not, during the process of doing your hair, please remember to drink water. It's difficult to remember sometimes, you know, but it's important that you don't become dehydrated on this day. Have you ever done dry finger detangling before? Have you ever done finger detangling before? And, you know, what do you think about it? Would you try this if you've never done it before? I'm really curious to know, you know. My channel is focused on everything to do with menopause, emotional, spiritual, and natural hair. And if that kind of content resonates with you, then hit the subscribe button and join me on this journey. Thank you for watching, and take care.